Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hotshot Racing for the Nintendo Switch. This one, it's looking just to deliver some good old arcade racing entertainment while channeling the classic virtual racing for its style. But can it live up to its idols and get the gold? That's very much what I'm here to find out. So with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. So Hotshot Racing is arcade through and through, so if you're looking for a deep set of mechanics and parts, not the game for you. If you're looking for fun though, I'll tell you right off the bat, this one might be for you because I've just been having a great time with it. Controls a simple steer, use the right trigger to accelerate, use the left trigger for brake, which is nearly always a drift, and then press A for a boost. Earning boost, it's simple, do a whole lot of drifting. For those looking for just a tiny bit more control, you can also add in manual gears, though it's something I rarely personally venture into. On the control front as well, you can choose from a fair few different camera angles that should cater to all tastes, as well as on the control front as well. If you're wondering, you can use a single Joy-Con because it supports up to 4-player local, and it does indeed have motion controls as well. So gameplay here basically comes down to 5 modes with varying events taking place over 16 different tracks. You can also reverse these tracks to double up that count. These modes, first up we've got Grand Prix, which is the core experience, 4 cups, each comprising of 4 tracks. Here you want to obviously win the gold over 3 different difficulty levels. You got normal, hard and expert. Then we get single race time trial, which is just that, but a great touch here, it has global online leaderboards, but not just any global leaderboards. Here you can actually choose a ghost time you want to race against, and it will actually download their attempt. It's very cool stuff. Then to wrap up modes, finally we've got online play and local play. Online caters for 8 players and local is for up to 4 players. While GP and time trial restrict you though to a single mode, single race, online and local have 3 different event types. You got the standard race, so choose your lap count and then hit the checkpoints before the timer expires. Cops and robbers, here 2 players start as cops, the others as robbers, and the cops need to take the robbers down pretty obviously. Here though you'll earn reward by collecting the cash they're stealing. Finally then we have what is called Drive or Explode. Each checkpoint here adds a new speed limit, gradually increasing it. If you fall down below it, you'll gradually damage your car and then boom, explode, you're taken out of the race. Both of these additional modes are great fun, especially when I played online. Me and a friend, we jumped in against 6 AI opponents and yeah, absolute blast. I know I had a good time because I was supposed to spend 30 minutes doing this, and it quickly turned into a 2-hour session. Just absolutely everything about this game though screams arcade, and it just embraces that. From the 16 tracks that cover the coast, desert, jungle and mountains, I think you've got a ski resort, a beachfront, a theme park. Variety here is king, not necessarily in count, but in its design. The AI opponents as well, no matter the difficulty you choose, they are just super aggressive and they will be ramming you all over the place. At points, I'll be honest, it almost gets a little overwhelming. But once I kind of embraced the fact this was going to happen, I learned to love it and even got involved myself more than a few times. One thing I will say that is definitely noticeable here is the catch-up design, meaning no matter how far you fall behind your opponents, they will get a speed boost to catch you up, and you will nearly always be in the thick of a racing field no matter how often you boosted away. It's kind of standard for the genre, but there's no doubt for some it will kind of prove frustrating as you're simply trying to escape. There's one AI opponent as well called Mike, and I'll tell you now, Mike is a complete ass. So one thing I want to point out, when I first started the game I didn't like it. I'll be completely honest with you, way too slow for me, as the cars felt like they were just going at a crawling pace. I just found myself getting attacked from all angles and there wasn't much in the way as satisfaction there. Turns out, and the game does not explain this, difficulty directly impacts the speed of you and your opponents. So think kind of the CC Cups in Mario Kart. My suggestion here, start on hard, not normal. Hard was a great pace, expert's awesome as well, but as the name suggests, challenging also. But once I figured this out, I actually uncovered the game I was looking for. I think the addition is nice, the slower pace, but they should have probably made it more clear that the speed will change and probably also called it easy instead of normal. This though also leads into my first problem. Not only are you increasing the speed, but the skill of your opponents. Here I think it would have been nice to have had just an option to speed up the pace without necessarily impacting the overall challenge of it all. Well, we are on problems as well, content-wise, for single players out there. It's a little on the light side in regards to cups. The Grand Prix mode, it's 4 cups, 4 races. I was done in maybe an hour and a half. I think they first of all could have doubled this by simply adding a mirrored track cup, something along that line, just to kind of pad out that runtime a little bit. One thing I didn't expect going in here though was the level of customization. Nearly everything you do here comes with some level of like customization, and while it's not the biggest selection of racers and cars, you can truly kind of mess with it a lot, at least visually. Racers, it's one of 8 from different regions around the world, and you can switch out the race suit they're wearing, but it's the cars where the real customization comes into play, from the physical shape of the car, to the parts used, to the bobblehead and air freshener you'll find inside. It's all cosmetic, as I say, but it no doubt adds some longevity, raising all the cash to buy all these different items. Also, some of them you'll need to unlock by completing specific challenges. Car selection though, impressive, as each of the 8 racers has like a selection of 4 cars to choose from, and they do each have their own stats that play a minor impact on how they race. This is speed, acceleration and drift. The final piece then, we got frame rate, and I can confirm that single player is indeed 60 FPS as they advertised, and that's how they worded it on the eShop. Single player is 60 FPS. Kind of had me a little worried about the online play, but it turns out nothing to be worried about. The footage you're watching right now is online, and you can see it doesn't move at all. Weird wording from the devs there, and they may want to take a look at that. Overall, Hotshot Racing, I'm kind of looking at it like this. It's kind of, if you took virtual racing and then mesh it together with like some kart racer mechanics, think, you know, the boost and the fact you can actually boost off the start line here if you get the timing right. Once I recognised that difficulty directly impacted speed, though, I loved every single moment of my time with this one, from the Grand Prix to the incredible online play. My only wish, it had a little more on the content side for single players to really keep them coming back. Still though, I gotta say, like, absolutely amazing work. Graphically speaking, I'll say it again, virtual racing, but they brought it into 2020. The cars look great in all their polygonal glory, but then they've added in some seriously stunning like tracks around them. It's just the variety, you know. You want to race through SeaWorld? You got it. Want to race through Jurassic Park? No problem. Want to race through a ski resort? That's here too. It's impressive though, all of these 16 tracks very, very different. The only complaint really, the characters a little creepy looking honestly, but they've definitely worked with the style to create a kind of diverse cast too. Then finally, look, menus, lobbies, online, all that good stuff works absolutely perfectly, and it's just simple to navigate. The game looks real good though, and the colours pop, and it's everything I would expect from a game channeling the era. Again, like gameplay, just great work. Audio then, and it's decent, the engines, brakes, all that good stuff, it sounds as you would expect, and the music, I'd call it like interesting. I liked it, but it comes with like small moments of dialogue that felt a tiny bit out of place. Also, the characters each have some one-liners that they'll shout out as you go through the race. These got a 9 pretty quickly. I stuck with Aston because he's the like Englishman of the game, and Aston is a stuck-up rich asshole, and I've never heard someone sound like this outside of the cast of Downton Abbey. I wish here I had the option just to turn the dialogue off, honestly. It's not necessary, adds absolutely nothing to the experience, but sadly, no option for that here. So overall, Hotshot Racing is a fantastic game. I had a great time with it, from the event types, to the locations, to the cars. I'm really only let down in one area, the lack of Grand Prix, just to, as I said, pad out that runtime for single players only, and maybe a little bit more of like flexibility in the options. Think the speed of the game, or even an option to reverse the tracks in Grand Prix itself, like every other option. That said, look, you're gonna have a great time with this, I have no doubt about that, and the fact you can play 1 to 4 player local split screen with single Joy-Cons across every mode except time trial just makes it all even better. And then just to top all that off, online is running at 60 frames per second, and the creativity on show, like the time trial, the ability to download ghosts, absolutely awesome. For me, it's done something special, something I didn't expect. I can tell you this, it can stand proud up there with Horizon Chase Turbo as an example of how a throwback is done right. Today I'm giving Hotshot Racing an amazing 9 out of 10 with a stipulation. If you don't have the option to play online or local play, then take a point off this score. Honestly though, look, this thing was incredible. Once I recognised that the speed was attached, as I said, to the difficulty level, I had an absolute blast from beginning to end. Thanks for watching today. Will you be adding this one to your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Then, look, as always, a quick shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, and I truly do appreciate it. If you want to check that out for yourself, the link is in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.